let's quickly, guys, come now and talk about the transfers. Today is January 31. For lovers of football, January is a very crucial month for the game. It's the transfer month, and today is the transfer deadline day. Guys, transfers are about the biggest part of football business.
Yeah.
The amount of money that moves from club to club, from leagues to leagues, from one league to the other, are astounding.
I remember a time Newcastle spent more than what all the clubs in the German Bundesliga spent, and they still went down. That's how interesting transfer deadline days can be. But of course, what concerns us is probably the Nigerian interest our players are doing, where they're moving to, of what consequence will some of those things be for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
All right, as I said, guys, let's look at what we have on your screen. Emmanuel Adebayo, I mean, you see, we're talking about Nigerian interest. You may be wondering why are we leading with the Togolese, but it's Togolese. It's just Togolese, but we know where it's from. Emmanuel Adebayo, for a long time, he's been unattached, and now he's going to Turkey. Bazak says here. That's where he is going. That's the club of Musa Mohammed, the Super Eagles right back. So Emmanuel Adebayo is going to Turkey. Nosai Gebo is also on his way to Turkey from Israel, from Maccabi Tel Aviv. He's completed the move today, completed his medical, and he has been unveiled as a player of Rizespor. That's we have Godfrey Obabona right there as well, in Rizespor. So it's in good company. This is a surprise. Enyimba, winger, Super Eagles winger, Ezekiel Bassi, is on 6 months loan to Barcelona B team, a deal that has the league management company written all over it.
Yeah.
One of the good things about the partnership between the LMC and the La Liga is the opportunity to force our players to go there, and that's Ezekiel Bassi leading the way. All right, so we expect to see a lot more of this in the days ahead. Odion Igalo has been confirmed now by Watford to be a player of Shangshun Yatai in China.
Yes.
£20 million involved in the deal. He's completed his medical, and now he's going to China.
Over £200,000 per week.
He's in good company because the captain of the Super Eagles is there, who moved earlier on in the year from Chelsea to Tianjin Teda as well. Aaron Samuel has moved from China. He's going the other way. From China, Jiangsu is gone to CSK Moscow, and it's a long deal, which is good for us because the Russian league is a competitive league, and we need our best players to play there. So maybe this could be the window, opportunity for him to get back into the Super Eagles. We know what role he played under Stephen Keshi, former coach Stephen Keshi of blessed memory, and we believe that with a good competition in CSK Moscow, he will be able to do even more. Earlier on in the year, Wilfred Ndidi made a switch from Genk in Belgium.
It was a worst-kept secret.
To Leicester in England earlier in the year, and so that's where he's been playing.
Already getting rave reviews.
Already getting playing time. And of course, the last one we'll talk about is Chinedu Obasi, who struggled with injury for a long time from Belgium all around. He went to Norway last season, ALK in Norway, and now he's found his way to Shenzhen in China, second division team.
Managed by Sven-Goran Eriksson. Sven-Goran Eriksson noticed how well he performed for AIK in Norway, and probably, recruited him into this one. I hope he uses this chance well. Chinedu Obasi, very gifted player. He's been very unfortunate with injuries. Just when he begins to start scoring goals, next thing you hear that the young man has gotten injured again. But every time he gets the opportunity at Schalke, most of those top clubs, he always showed the stuff it was made of. And I'm hoping, because we're told that one of the richest men in China owns Shenzhen, so maybe with that influence, they probably get... We should start paying attention to the Chinese league, because it's attracting all the players, and if our top player is content to go to Division 2, it says a lot. And I hope they get to Division 1. I hope a lot of good things begin to happen, since there is a powerful magnet now.
Let's try to wrap up this discussion. let's start with Ezekiel Bassi stuff.
All right.
Barcelona B team, a lot of people will say, why the B team? We all know that the A team is difficult to break into, all right? But it's good enough that he gets a chance to go to Barcelona and make an impression that could see him eventually land in the A team. For Ezekiel Bassi, we know what he could do, what he can do, the home-based Eagles, and of course, with the Eagles during the game against Swaziland, the World Cup qualifiers, exciting, very fast, quick player. This is an opportunity for him to improve his game for Nigeria's benefit.
Yeah, pretty much. And as you said earlier, this has the league management company in it. I mean, the partnership with La Liga is pretty much paying a whole lot of dividend. Now, this is one of the several dividends that
that's a young lad going through the
now he's going. Funny enough, he played some days ago for his club. Now he's going to Barcelona Team B, and a lot of people want to say that why the B, why not the A, and all that. But then I feel that there is a reason for it. I feel that he will be able to prove himself. I mean, he actually went with the MPFL All Stars to Spain. And of course, they did well, one of the few shining lights that we actually saw. So, you know, they keep tabs of all this. So, fine, we could say that probably it might not interest a lot of people. 6 months loan. Why should he go on a 6-month loan and all that? But then this is the opportunity he has been looking for. Trust me, if he's going to take this opportunity, you never can tell. Even if he's not in Barcelona, probably another top La Liga side could sign him on. Maybe Granada, where some Nigerians have been going to anyway, and try as much as possible to see whether he can be able to make impact. I think this is a good move. I think that it's good for the Nigerian Professional Football League, it's good for the LMC, and it's good for the young man as well.
Yemi, these things, when you have a collaboration with the best, there's no way it wouldn't rub off on you, and this is commendable from the league management company. What this opportunity is for the players now, the players have the responsibility to seize this opportunity for themselves.
And justify what we've always said about them. Anytime I see the key actors benefiting, I'm always happy. Now the news is about Ezekiel Bassi, and I'm happy. I disagree with people who say, why did he go on loan? Do you know how many good players that were not even able to make it to the Barcelona first team, that had to leave and are big stars today? And when you train with the best, there are chances, that, you will be the best. Look at the transformation for someone like Samuel Eto'o, for instance, from Mallorca to Barcelona, and just because
Real Madrid thing be at some point.
Just because he was with those guys, it was transformed to another level. It was good, but it wasn't that good. And what this does for Ezekiel is that you're training with, good facilities, top quality players.
And you still get a chance to even see the main team as well.
Train with them on occasions and add it to your CV. And all of those things that count against our player. And another thing we must, I think, commend the LMC for. Everything was well monitored. It was done. All the, right processes, due process was followed. And it shows that we can do things right. And we're beginning to see the dividends. We're reaping the rewards. The players, it shows now they can move. They're not restricted. We're not talking of Iraq. We're not talking of Lebanon. We're not talking of Indonesia. We're talking of somebody who just played an MPFL game
some days ago.
Less than a week ago, is going to Spain. And in the days, weeks, and months to come, we're going to see a lot. Then the question will now be, the drain will continue. We'll continue to produce more stars.
Yeah.
And those guys that left, courtesy of what the LMC have done, some of those guys will still be able to come back to the league because they'll be able to, beat their chest and say, this is the league that produced me. And they'll be able to, contribute. I want a situation where you see what happens in Brazil and Argentina, where those guys go to Europe and they're still happy and content to come back home and play in the league that took them to Europe.
All right, let's talk about the impact of the transfer in January on the Eagles. We highlighted some of our players here who have moved for NDD. A move to the English Premier League can only make him a better player.
Certainly.
We talked about the captain of the team as well.
As
Igebo, Nosai Igebo as well is going to Turkey. We've also talked about John Igalo is going to China with the captain of the team, John Mikel Obi. You know, this moves for John Igalo. He says it's an opportunity to play regular football that is motivating him to go to China. So it's also, and the Chinese league, guys, before we begin to look at it as if it's an inferior league, a lot of the Brazilians are there now.
Pretty much.
Top players in Brazil are there now.
Even before this money
if the Brazilian team is not inferior to any national team in the world, then we shouldn't have any problems with some of our players going there to play.
Yes, certainly.
I don't think you can analyze it with a blanket. You just have to look at the individual cases and look at whether, because we're looking at the Super Eagles now, and look at the merits of each individual move and, you know, analyze it. For John Mikel Obi, if we want to start picking it as individual, for John Mikel Obi, it wasn't a bad move. This is someone that's won everything. Apart from maybe individual accolades, he's won everything. And so, but for some others, going to China, not individual, but in the interest of the national team, for John Igalo, for instance, it's going to be very hard for him to prove to me, my personal opinion, that it probably wasn't because of money. It's going to be very hard. Because if you didn't get playing time in Watford, you could get it elsewhere.
But you know, the move to China came 2 years ago for Dion. He turned it down, and he says he wants to play in the English Premier League. You know, so now you ask yourself, what's been the difference between what used to happen?
There's a tiny trend.
He has struggled now.
Trend.